Hello, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening, Bianca.
So,
Hello, everyone.
how are you doing, Coach Gray?
All good, all
Nice,
good.
nice to have you on board. I'm just trying to change the host to this side. All right, just bear with me a sec. All right.
All right, can you hear me now?
Definitely. Perfectly.
Okay, all right. So, hi everybody, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Bianca. Mindset your roadway to wealth. I'm super delighted this evening um, to have someone that I met. This world nowadays, this digital space that we're in, you get to meet different people. So I was just on one, I think it was on Sunday evening, right?
Yeah.
I just jumped onto TikTok. I saw, oh, Coach Dre. I said, wow, let me find out who this person is. Maybe there's something, one or two things that I could learn, I could learn from him. So that is how I eventually tried to connect. I jumped onto the live, and then we got to exchange details, and voila, here we are today.
Yes.
So I'm super, super, super delighted to have you on today. Thank you so much for accepting to jump on board, today. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Bianca Ayila. I'm a mom of three boys. I reside in the Republic of Ireland. I'm a gospel music singer. I'm a digital entrepreneur. I'm a lifestyle coach, and I'm a motivational speaker in training. It's funny to say that, isn't it?
I know,
Yeah,
right?
but yeah. So I have my amazing guest today, who is Coach Dre, and I'll just read a little bit about him. Or maybe let me allow him to introduce himself. Okay, let me allow you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
Okay.
Where are you from? Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Well, on my side, it's 3 p.m. because I live in New York. So,
Mm.
as you all know, my name is Coach Dre. My real name is Andre, but close people they call me Dre. So I prefer Dre because it's straight to the point. So I am. I live in New York. I am
Mhm.
also a father of four kids, four daughters, and I had a pretty long let's say journey, speaking professionally. I've been a teacher because I was raised by a family of educators. My mother was a teacher, my father was, my grandfather was. So it's like a family trait. So we all had to go through the same, thing in the family. So I work with several organizations as a human resources professional, and
Mhm.
I also worked in the medical field as a medical technologist, but it still was back in the days, and where I also had the chance to educate other people about clinical biology, not everything that has to do with bacteria and how to handle a lab, how to work with a microscope, and all these things. And my ambition took me further, where I started to work with one of the biggest organizations in the world, I would say, as just a translator. And I was a translator, and I wanted more. I'm the type who's challenging himself all the time. So what
Mhm.
I wanted to have, I had it. So I had a position in human resources. I started as a human resources professional, few promotions. I end up to be a human resources specialist. And the transition to the United States was my challenge because I had to adjust to a new reality. It was a new type of life, a new lifestyle. You know, everything changed.
Mhm.
But then God gave me the chance to still be a human resources professional. I'm a recruiter from a big company in New York. I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman too because I'm the CEO and founder of an advertising company, and also have a corporation that is growing now. And we recently made a merge with both companies. So I think that's enough about me. I don't want to tell too much. And
Wow,
also, I'm a coach.
go ahead.
I'm a life coach, but my coaching is more focused about life experiences because I went through stuff. I went through experiences. My parents went through experiences. I have friends and other coworkers and friends that went through the same thing. So I'm like, you know, what, if I have the ability to enlighten them with what I know and what I went through, what I learned in life, a way for them to improve themselves and even find, you know, easy for them to find a way instead of um, staying on the problem only and find solutions. I just dedicated myself for this too. So this is Coach Dre.
Wow, you even went further than and you've answered like most of my questions that I was still going to ask you. Well, that's great. Wow. You are really, really knowledgeable. You really have a very
Thank
big
you.
and a great profile. Well done to you. I like to say, kudos to you. Massive congratulations,
Thank you,
you know,
Bianca.
because you've shared almost all your journey already.
I know
But I
it
believe
was
that
long.
we will go more deeper into details
Yeah,
because, this platform is a platform that, you know, obviously, with regards to our topic, which is mindset,
yes,
I came across, like, let me say, I came to a conclusion that mindset plays a very, very big and key role in our lives, in every aspect of our lives. And that's why I decided to dwell a little bit on this topic, because I believe once we have the right mindset in life, it will affect our life positively. Obviously, of course, if we're talking about the right mindset, not the wrong one, okay, it's
definitely.
going to like affect our life in so many various ways, and that can help us to succeed. So now that brings me to my next question,
Okay.
which is, what role do you think mindset plays in success?
Okay. The journey to success is like a whole process.
Mm-hmm.
The process starts um with first sometimes with the visual
Mm-hmm.
aspect, like something that you see and then you have the it's like you have to have it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But the visual will bring you um to the dream. The first thing is the dream. You go
Mm-hmm.
to sleep. You think about what you would like to have. It might be a nice house. It might be, you know, a car. It might be, you know, something like might be a business too. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I always tell people that your dreams or they are awaiting for you to facilitate the transition to the reality.
Mm-hmm.
So and for you to make them real, the first step, the step after the dream, once you dreamt about it, like the dream is like a vision, it's like a snippet of the future of what you need, what you think that you want to have. The dream will tell you that's how it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
So the second step after the dream is the action. So
Mm-hmm.
action is whatever you saw in your dream and that you remember when you wake up, write it down. You know, I
Okay.
always tell
Mm-hmm.
people if you have a project, if there's something that you want to have, you have to write it somewhere because even if you don't have the money, even if you don't have the support that you need to have, at least you have it written somewhere. And this is the very first step of making a dream becoming a reality. But the thing is, you're not just gonna do it just like this. Mindset is, I'm not gonna say is the engine, but the mindset is gonna be like a generator of
Mm-hmm.
a inner motivation, in an inner motivation
Mm-hmm.
before the motivation that you're gonna have to create the thing. Because I say inner motivation because if your mindset is not straight,
Mm-hmm.
if it's not, if you don't have the focus, if you don't know where you want to go, if you don't have the plans of how you're going to achieve the objective that will lead you to achieving the goal, it's not going to be easy. Something I always tell people, the mind, we own our mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they say mindset. As long as you can control your mind,
Mm-hmm.
you can set your mind
Mm-hmm.
the way you want it to be and make things happen.
Wow. Mm.
That's my perception of mindset.
Wow, I love that just simplified it. You set your mind, like
Yes.
mindset. That's wow. I love the way that you just
Thank you.
broke it down so simple and easy to like understand.
Yes.
Now, well, I know that you've shared partially, or let me say almost all your story.
Yeah.
All right. You already shared. Okay, let me not even ask you this question because I believe that you've shared your story already because you told us your before and your after that you already grew up in a family where you know. So
Yeah.
I'm going to jump on to the next question, which is what role do you think time plays, um, you know, in a person's success? And I'm just going to use like the current situation that we're in, the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. When you say time, there's the word that comes automatically in mind is
Mm-hmm.
patience.
Mm-hmm.
Patience and I would say adjustment
Mm-hmm.
and adaptability.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the pandemic out there now gave us another. I would not gonna say it's like a reminder or let's say a reason. What would I say? A reminder is like there's a lot of people, they live their lives spending their 9 to 5s at work and they just go home. It's like a daily routine. You go to work in person and everything. But it's like for them, it's like this routine is my life. That's the line I want to follow. Now with the pandemic, you see that there's a lot of entrepreneur now, a lot of people doing digital business. It might be marketing, it might be counseling, it might be social media management or whatever it is. They just go online, they learn something, and well, they they live their lives in another way. You know, it's like it's shifted already. But the thing I want people to understand is time. Time is a factor in every single project that you are going for. If you don't have, and then there's a few word that comes, there's another word that comes
Mm-hmm.
after patience. There's a
Yeah.
timeline. There's timeline.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Your life has a timeline. Your projects, they have to have a timeline too. Because you have to know, okay, that's what they usually say in human resources when they're doing this when you're working on the objective of an employee, they said they want you to set your objective in a smart way.
Mm-hmm.
The T in the smart is the timely, the time part. It means you have a time frame for that project. You want to go from there to go there in a certain amount of time, you know? So the pandemic, as I said, it brings patience. The word time goes with patience, with adaptability, with also flexibility. Because listen, a lot of people, they just got fired from home, and then you're just gonna sit down at home and not doing anything. It's that you're gonna be depressed, you're gonna be stressed, anxiety is gonna come on, and sometimes argument, and even there's a lot of family, even there's people that even lost their family because arguments and stuff because they've been sitting in the house. But if if at least the mindset was set in a way where the adaptability was flexible according to
Mm-hmm.
whatever could happen, these would never happen. So that's why I said time is an important factor. You need to visualize, you need to see the situation, you need to assess the situation and adapt to it, and give yourself a certain amount of time to do this or to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it time, this mindset, this time, all these are like I'm sure there's gonna be other words as we're gonna talk because it's a
Mm-hmm.
package.
Mm-hmm.
And if the package is not complete in whatever you're doing, success is gonna be like a very long journey for you. It's like you're trying to reach it. It's like you're trying to reach a ball, and every time you almost get the ball, it's gonna go away. Every time you touch it, it goes away because you don't respect the steps, because you don't
Mm-hmm.
give yourself the time. Because anything that you do that is too fast, a lot of people, they're like okay, I want to be wealthy. People think the short taking the shortcuts is the right way to be wealthy. But
Mm-hmm.
shortcuts sometimes are very temporary. You know, okay, I'm gonna say some people go to do the narcotics.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, we have people that robs banks and stuff. They don't last. In my culture, they said every material that wasn't that you didn't deserve, it's not gonna last long. I
Ill-gotten.
know in the
It's like ill-gotten treasures like vanish,
yeah
something like
yeah
that. Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
know the proverb in French, but
Mm-hmm.
pretty not really, French and English. It's translation sometimes
Yeah.
it's pretty
What? Yeah.
tricky.
Say it in French.
French is a tout bien mal acquis ne dure jamais.
Everything that is acquired in a bad way. Go ahead.
Yes, it won't
Mm-hmm.
last.
Doesn't last. Yeah.
It won't
Okay.
last. Time is very important. Patience is important.
Hmm.
That's what I
Wow, I love that. I love that. I'm loving what I'm hearing.
think.
Yeah, I'm learning so much from you, coach. I believe we are all learning so much from you
Definitely.
tonight. Now, and that brings me to my next question. I'm just going to link it to this question that I just asked you. And of course, to me personally, I believe this pandemic taught us so many things like don't put all your eggs in one basket. And because you don't know what tomorrow has to what it will throw at you. Like, I mean, nobody knew that maybe some businesses they shut down, right? Some
Yep.
people lost their jobs. They did not know that what that was going to happen. So that's why I believe that, you know um in this like, let me say, in this current world and times that we're in, it's very imperative to have different kinds of, have extra streams and sources of income.
Yes.
you know you always have to have a backup plan. Even, even like putting income aside, I mean, in everything that you do in life, you need to have a plan B or a plan C.
Definitely.
And I know there are people that are still very skeptical, being involved in digital, or let me say online businesses. What would you like to say to those kind of people? What assurance would you give them? And let me add another question and say to you, um, can you share what is your take on residual income, or on online business?
Um, it is I think since my childhood, I've always been a business oriented kid.
Mm-hmm.
So and sometimes there are things that you do when you're young, you're not really gonna see the benefit of it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I can do this, or I used to have my uncle. He's an engineer on the field. I used just to go to hold a thing for them to do some works. He just give me like a few bucks, which is good. I can just go and buy a kite with it or do something with it. But
Yeah.
but but what I would tell people about it is it's always good. It feels good. It feels
Mm-hmm.
good when you have your own business that is generating income, and then you just sit down one day and probably drinking your coffee or maybe a glass of whiskey, thinking that I created this.
Mm.
I always tell people, try to use this ability that we all have it.
Mm-hmm.
We all have the ability. It's just some people, they don't have the willingness to just move forward just because they're afraid to take risks, or they're just afraid because this is too much processes, or I have to register my business. Is going to be, there's the IRS thing, there's the Secretary of State thing, there's too much follow-up. So it's like people, some people, they just get lazy. Some people, they're afraid, you know, to take
Mm-hmm.
risks. Some people are afraid of tomorrow
I
because
see.
they
I'm
see,
sorry
I'm
about
by,
it, but I'm too.
oh, I'm by
That's it.
myself.
Often it
Sorry,
teach
my
going.
apologies.
It's okay. Oh, I'm by myself. I'm
Oh,
by myself. This is gonna be too much work for me. Some people, they think like this,
oh, one
but
question.
uh,
Okay, just sorry, let me make someone co-host so they can assist me.
oh,
Just
okay.
yeah, because to keep the mute, I forgot to mute everyone.
Oh,
Just
okay.
yeah, just
It's okay.
excuse me, just a sec. I'll just mute you as well, and then
Mm-hmm.
you unmute yourself. Okay, please unmute yourself.
Okay. Here.
Yeah.
So, I would tell people to at least try.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Try, because I understand failure is it's not, when you fail, when you know that you're failing, it's not a good feeling. It's not good. But I know how difficult that it could be for someone to understand that failure will teach you stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It also feels good when you fail and then you try again and you succeed. It feels good that tomorrow when you have probably someone from the younger generation or a friend that is going to do the same thing, it feels good for you to be able to tell them, don't go this way. If you go this way, you're going to fall. Go this way instead. But know that failure is part of the process. I always encourage people to create. I always trying to inspire people to create something new, because once you create an example, you create a new business,
Mm-hmm.
right? An example, you could know how to braid hair, you could how to cut beards, you know how to do makeup, um you know how to there's a lot of things that we know how to
Mm-hmm.
do them, how to make them. These are all abilities. But how about you transform this thing that that you're so good at,
Mm-hmm.
transform it as a business? And let's not say business, let's transform it as a second stream of income.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just relying on my work, I know every week I'm gonna have $1,000. I know I'm paying the rent, and or every month I'm paying the rent, I'm paying my phone bills, I'm paying the car, I'm paying the electricity, and paying the water, and then after that, I'll have only $50 in my hand just to put gas and stuff. No flexibility, you know. But once you have your own stream of income, you'll be like, imagine that. Okay, I have my salary. This is gonna go to my bank account straight, but my business money, this is what I'm gonna roll with.
Mm-hmm.
You decide to travel, or you decide to buy a new car for your 16 or 17 years old. There's plenty of stuff. You have the flexibility in life, and the good feeling that you created something that can generate income, extra income. And this is what's going on during this
Mm-hmm.
pandemic. A lot of people, they left their jobs to manage their businesses.
Mm.
I work in the shipping world. Like, I work with a company. We're partnering with a company that ships stuff almost everywhere. All these people, all these clients, are people that left their jobs
Mm.
because they making money. They hired their family members, they hired their kids, they hired their sons, cousins, uncles. They make big family corporations. They're making money. So why not? Why can't you just give it a try? Because the thing is, you just have to surround yourself with the. I mean, this is not. I just don't want to go away from the subject. But once
Mm.
you have the right persons, the right people around you,
Mm.
It's gonna be easy.
Wow.
Even with failure on the way, it's gonna be easy.
I don't know. I'll just say to you that is still back there at home, that is just skeptical. I mean, you've heard what he said. Like
Mm,
people now are employing their families. So many people are leaving their jobs. I mean, do you think all these people are they crazy, or I mean, for them to leave their jobs? I mean, you should really give it a try. There's no need for you to be skeptical. Because remember, we talked about timing, timing as
yes.
well. This is your time. This is 2022. I believe so many of us, we are still looking for what can we do to make our lives better. This 2022,
Hmm.
if someone offers you an opportunity, especially maybe Dre has reached out to you, maybe I've reached out to you, or maybe whoever shared this video with you has reached out to you to say, here's a business opportunity that I have to offer you. Stop being skeptical, just jump on it. Time waits for nobody. Time waits for nobody. So this is your time to shine. If you want your life to be successful, to turn around this 2022, you have just to take that decision and say yes. Now, can you just share a few of your wins or what you've been able to accomplish, you know, with being in this digital space?
Okay. There's one thing I'm gonna say, and there's a friend I know a couple people that um they would
Mm,
like to start. They would like to do things. They have very great ideas, but the financial aspect is not really good for them. I understand, but I believe in the saying that says like attract likes.
mm-hmm,
Um, if you focus on what you want to do, if you are very focused, if you really need it, and if I said as the first step is to write it down. You write it down. It's like you want to make it happen. My
mm-hmm,
wins, my wins. I've always believed in the in this concept and this perception where you can make things happen in your life.
mm-hmm,
Negative thoughts, they attract negative events in your life. When you're positive, and even if your community, even if your surrounding is uh, threatens you, or
mm-hmm,
let's say try to put you down, because as long as you focus on where you want to go, and as long as you focus on the potential that you have
mm-hmm,
and the values that you have to, nothing can put you down. So my very first win, I'm gonna go to that specific period of my life
okay,
as an immigrant.
mm-hmm,
For someone who just came in the country and without the proper, you know, you
document.
didn't have, like I used to do business back and forth coming here, right? Then when you had to stay because transition is not easy.
Mm,
This transition is not easy
absolutely. Mm,
because people will tell you, "Oh, you're not from the country. There's stuff that you can't do." "Oh no, they're gonna be like the whole white people and stuff. They're gonna block you. They're gonna this. They're gonna that." If you listen to these negative affirmations,
mm-hmm.
you're just gonna just lock yourself in a routine. In a routine, 9 to 5. Okay, I understand it's very comfortable to be working 9 to 5, but imagine your employer is making money out of your effort.
You said it
So
there.
how about you be like, listen, what he's doing, I can do it too. How about you just do it for yourself too?
Hmm,
So
I love that.
that's where, with that mindset that I have, that's where I became a photographer. I never thought I would be a photographer one day.
Wow.
Never thought. One day
Hmm,
I had a stage in my transition here where I was depressed. There was anxiety, there was stress every day. I was very down. And it will lead you to a point where you will even forget about your potentials. But
absolutely.
there's gonna be one thing that you will see once. There's gonna be one thing that you probably will hear from someone. And then you will be like, you're probably right.
Hmm,
And I remember that day, that's July 17th. when I decided to buy a camera, it was on one of these website where they sell used stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought a camera, and then it was a broken one. Well, of course, he made like $200 out of my pocket, but I went to a store. I just bought the like the other pieces that was missing. Then I went to a church. There was a church in the block I used to go because I decided to just go to the church. I'm like, you know what? Let me just give it a try. I went to church. I got inspired by the pastor, and then I took a picture of a hand, someone that was tending the hand to the cross. It was just the hand and the cross.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point in my life, I'm like, you know what? Probably New York is not made for me. I didn't have I didn't have a good job. I didn't have, there's a lot of things that was missing. And my family, my mother was in Florida because I didn't want to live in Florida. So I'm like, I decided to go back to Florida. So I went back to Florida, and 15 days after, I received a call. And I'm gonna tell you the funny part. The pastor of the church called me, and he was like, Dre, where are you? I'm like, I left New York. I moved to Florida. He said, what do you do in Florida? I'm like, I'm waiting for an employer to call me. And he was like, how about I just offer you a job? I'm like, what job is it? He said, I have a communications director position. I have an office.
Mm.
Um, and there was also a credit card for me to buy whatever I needed. And
Wow.
there was also housing.
Hmm.
Housing came with it.
Wow.
And yeah, so it took me only 2 days to just leave Florida and come back to New York. And that was when I was really proud of the fact that I decided to go into the photography world, because there are things that you do that will bring positive events. If
Mm.
I didn't know how to take a picture, nobody would see my work. Nobody would see that post that I made on Facebook and give me an employment, you
Wow.
know? And how did I study photography? I remember I was working in at a laundromat. It wasn't a happy job. It was just I had to work overnight. I have to do maintenance in the machines, like the washing machines and stuff. I had to clean the whole place, you know, passing the mop and stuff. That's what I used to do. But I was like, there's more I can do. So I had a laptop. While I was working, I just planned my schedule and I took the course online with the New York Institute of Photography. Then here, that's one of my wins. There are a lot of other
Wow.
wins, but yeah,
Congratulations for that. Congratulations for
thank
that.
you.
Wow. That's amazing. Like, I love what you said earlier on. If you come to think of it, you know, um, so many of times our talents, sometimes we because I think to be a photographer, you must be someone that is creative, like,
Definitely.
or artistic. It's just like certain jobs. For you to be a makeup artist, or for you to be someone that does hair, you need to have that artistic, like, you know
I-
ability in you. So I love that, you that idea came into your mind, that opportunity, and you jumped on it, and it turned things around for you, which is
yes,
really, really great and amazing.
yes. And guess what? My first like how I mean, you have to have the artistic sense,
Mm-hmm.
but even if you don't have it, you can, and that's what I said. There's a way that you can set up your mind in doing
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm.
I I I know I used to take a picture with an iPhone back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know how to use a camera. So I have a good friend of mine. He's in Haiti. I'm from Haiti,
Mm-hmm.
by the way. He's a photographer. So he's the one who gave me some tips on how to set up the camera. The first thing I did, I went on a field. There was a park behind the house. That's why I started to take pictures of flowers.
Mm.
Pictures of flowers. I took pictures of a bee, taking the sugar from the flower, uh, taking some pictures of facial expressions of people, just like that.
Mm.
That's
Mm.
that's that's why I that's when I'm like, you know what? my strength in photography is probably moments. That's, and this is one of the reasons why the pastor hired me, because the hugs, the cry, the tears, when someone is happy, when someone
Mm-hmm.
is excited, when someone is sad, all these expressions, I was able to take all of
Capture
them,
them. Mm.
capture all of them, put them on the church's page. And it's like
Wow.
wherever you are, you would know the atmosphere that is going on in the church.
Wow.
So
That
you
was
might
very
not,
strategic of him, yeah?
yeah, you
Very
might not,
smart and
uh,
strategic of him too.
I'm telling you, you might not be a photographer, I understand, but once you train your mind, it's the mindset can be trained. You can even reset,
Absolutely.
you can even reset it,
Mm.
you know? But once you have the willingness to learn something, trust me, you'll be a master at it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing
You're
sharing
welcome.
that, Win. I know that we have more. Maybe we'll bring you on some other time again. We'll go deeper and deeper
I know.
into it. So, to conclude, what are the tips that you'd like to share, or you'd like to leave with our audience, for someone that wants to be successful this year 2022? What would you like to say to them? What do they need to do?
Okay, we all know that, as I was saying, the world is, there's a lot of things that are becoming worse in the world.
Mm,
Um, People won't be happy of your success. People won't be happy even of your mindset.
mm,
People won't be happy because you're well dressed. They won't be happy because you have your standards.
mm-hmm,
They won't be happy because your kids, they go to private school. They won't be happy because your kids, you're able to give them whatever you want, whatever they
mm-hmm,
want. They won't be happy with the house you have. There's a lot of things nowadays that people, they will hate you for it, and I'm not even saying the people that are very close to you. Um, what I advise to people is to find your focus.
mm-hmm,
Um, and it's not only finding the focus, because as I said, it's a package. You need to, I would tell people to give themselves, I'm not gonna say a lifestyle, but remember that whatever happens around you, whatever decision that you make, it's gonna depend on you.
mm,
People will come and tell you, they will be offering you their validation. People
mm,
will tell you, oh, don't do this. This is gonna happen. Don't do this. This is gonna happen. It might happen that you have wise people around you, but it is always good to develop yourself. Make some research about something that you want to do, if it to see if it's possible or not. I mean, nothing is impossible, right?
mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
to know the how, to know the processes, to know the plans, to know how I'm gonna start with it. Don't don't rely on the negative events. Don't stay only on the negative events. The more you complain about what is happening to you, the more you complain about it, the worse is it's gonna become.
Hmm.
I'm a thinker. Whatever problems that comes my way, the first thing I try to see is the solution. Where's the way out? Where's the
Hmm.
back door? Where is the window for me to get out of it? And I guess this is one of the things that made the balance in my own life. And I always encourage people to do the same thing. Instead of complaining, because there's a lot of people, they would prefer you to complain to them. You go to them, you complain. Listen, it's not mean, but if I have a friend and every time I go to your house, all you do is complaining, one day you probably will like, oh, Dre, where are you? I'm like, I'm probably busy doing something else, because because you are attracting, it's like you just locking yourself in that same labyrinth
Mm-hmm.
of problems that you've been. But never just come to me and say, Dre, what can you suggest? Ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Ask other people that made it already. If you can reach out to these people, it's not a problem. You can even go on Instagram or wherever is it you see a motivational speaker, or one of these people that are millionaires or billionaires. You just find their emails and send an email to them. You can just do it. Sometimes you just do it, you know? So my advice to them is whatever you have to do, whatever you want to do, at first, you need to put in yourself, you need to put in your mind, and you need to nurture this, that nothing is impossible.
Wow, I love that. Thank you so much. Our time is fast
You're
spent.
welcome.
Wow, you heard it all. Nothing is
Thank you.
impossible. So please, if you're watching from anybody's page, and please try and reach out, to find out, because we have opportunities to offer you that can help to change, to turn your life around. So please make sure you reach out to me or whoever's page you're watching from. And if you're looking for someone to do your advertising, reach out to Coach Gray. Can you just tell them your IG handle, your Facebook name, and all your
Okay.
details, how they
Um,
can reach out to you?
the business page is K Drew Inc.
Mm-hmm,
That's the advertising company that we have, and it's not only advertising; it's
mm-hmm,
the whole helping you building your business to a point where
mm-hmm,
you keep a certain standard,
mm-hmm,
and also for the visibility too. Like anyone that sees your business, it's like, okay, this is classic, this is very professional. Let me just have it. So web design, social media management, and event counseling for the business. That's what we do. And my personal Instagram is Dre, and there's an underscore Dre Therapy.
mm-hmm.
Um, I post stuff in my own language and also stuff in English too. I try to mix things because we have to try to reach everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also on Facebook. My personal Facebook is Harry D Dre. I think it's on the poster that you shared with everyone
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
watching.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also there's the Casual Ink also on Facebook.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's I guess that's pretty it. That's pretty it. Yeah.
Well, thank you once, a massive thank you for coming and accepting to do this tonight. You've inspired me, and I believe you inspired our audience and everyone that is represented in this Zoom. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for your
God bless
humility.
you too.
I know other people, it's hard. You'll ask them, they tell you, they'll give an excuse, I'm busy. Some they're not really busy. But for you to have that humility to do this, I really, really, really appreciate it. So I'm just going to go off our live now, and we remain in house. So,
Okay.
our viewers, goodbye. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you comment, subscribe, and